a little while. This is the Voice for Real Estate, a presentation of CWTAR, and I don't know whether I can do it like Cleve did or not, but it's the Central West Tennessee Association of Realtors. Brent Ward is with us. He's our host for the show today, and our show is brought to you by Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance Company, and Dubison Associates Incorporated, National Property Inspections. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm doing fine.
There we go.
I got you.
Got a mic now.
Yeah, we're
trying to
good.
catch
We're
that,
good.
but yeah, doing great this morning. It's a little chilly outside this morning compared to, sometimes I've been here.
I think I'd rather be showing homes than appraising one today.
Yeah, you can get in and out, and usually you're in the warmest part of the house,
The good thing if you're an appraiser and you're doing a newer home today, if it's cold enough now that everything's frozen, so you don't go ankle deep in the mud.
You can walk around the house without having to worry about getting
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing things a little bit different now. CWTAR has taken leadership on this particular segment, and we'll be doing this every week at 10:15, highlighting some people who are not necessarily realtors but are necessary in the sales and purchasing process.
We are, and these folks I have with me this morning are insanely necessary, because I can tell you right now, without folks like these, the home buying process would last all of about 5 seconds.
That's true.
I've got with me a couple guests this morning. We're happy to have them here this morning, and they're with Leaders Mortgage Services. So we have Mr. Chris Gray. How are you, Chris?
I'm great.
Good. And we also have Kelly Bryan also. Good morning, Kelly. So we're happy to have them with us this morning. So, of course, if you're not familiar with Leaders Mortgage Services, they have a really nice building. Oh, already got it loose.
There we go. Now we got it.
All right. Welcome to live radio.
Yes.
That's the way it works.
The equipment came over on the Mayflower, I think.
We got him now. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right,
we're
perfect.
good now.
All right, so if you're not familiar with Leaders Mortgage Services, where are you guys located? Because you got a really nice building.
We're over off 35 Stonebridge, so I usually use the landmark of the Chick-fil-A. Everybody knows that.
There you go, right there. All right, so they're right there on Stonebridge, and you'll see their sign there. So I just noticed on some stuff, you guys have won an award just recently of some sort, have you not?
We did. In fact, we won Best Mortgage Company with the Jackson Sun for 2018.
That'd be the Reader's Choice Award, is that right?
It was, and the credit union has won 4 years in a row, and so
wow.
we figured we would get in on that party.
Yeah, there you go.
So
nothing wrong with that.
And also, the voting is still live for 2019.
For 2019, so it's already going.
It's going right now. You can go to the Jackson Sun site and you can vote on that.
That wasn't a shameless plug at all, but if you
No such thing.
If you know them and you've used them, or you just like these guys, then by all means, please go by there. And I will say, we're happy to partner from CWTAR to Leaders Credit Union, because Leaders Credit Union has been one of our sponsors for this year going into 2019. So we certainly appreciate that. So this has been a good partnership. Leaders is really great about coming out and supporting the realtors and helping out, and that's so key right now, because things are totally different now than they used to be as far as the buying process. And I get on here and I talk about, from a realtor standpoint, my background for where I'm going. So tell me a little bit about, from the mortgage side, about the buying process and kind of how that moves forward.
Sure. One of the things that we look at, and this is actually from National Association of Realtors, the biggest barrier to home ownership has been down payment historically. And so we feel like we've tackled that head on with, there's some government products that are out there, like a USDA, so no down payment loan. You of course have a VA loan, no down payment. THDA, which is 38301, 38305. You get a home buyer $15,000 to help purchase a home. But we also do in-house loans with no down payment. And so we've tried to help to take out the number one barrier with loan product to help more people to be homeowners.
Yeah, the $15,000 one, that was a THDA, is that correct?
That's
THDA
correct.
loan. I'm a little bit familiar with that one, because one of the ladies I work with actually got to utilize that, and she actually utilized it with Kelly. That's exactly right. So I am a little bit familiar with that one, and that is an exceptionally good loan if you qualify for that. It's amazing.
It is an awesome loan if you can qualify for it. Of course, it does have some. You have to be a first-time home buyer now. A little different than when the lady at CWTAR bought, but you do have to be a first-time home buyer now.
Okay.
For that 38301, 38305 zip code area. And it's an exceptional loan for individuals that need a little bit of help with down payment, some closing costs, to get them into a home that they may not have been able to afford without this help.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, it is great.
And I would say, and this is the perfect time to put this in here, if you ever thought about purchasing a home and you're not sure about that part that Chris was talking about as far as like the down payment assistance or whether I got money for down payment, because that is a big obstacle, even for people that have jobs and do all the other stuff, still coming up with the money is always an issue, depending on the price of house. So if they wanted to get in touch with you, just ask a question. What's a good number for them to call?
The best number to call is going to be our main number, 664-1784 is
Okay.
our main number. Of course, you can get into the mortgage department. I know there's a mortgage loop number, Chris.
Well, and you can also, this may be easier,
Okay.
you can text the words welcome home
There you go.
to 36260, and you can start the process straight from your phone.
Okay, and what was that number again?
36260, and just text the words welcome home.
Welcome home. All right, so remember that. If you got questions, it costs you $0 to ask questions or even to come in and meet with either one of these two folks right here. It doesn't cost you anything. You're just asking questions or just talking to you, kind of like we're doing right now. So,
Right.
And I encourage you to do that. All right, so also in the mortgage business, because a lot of people, especially first-time home buyers, has never bought a house before, they don't really understand the process. So they know they're either going to come see you or they're going to come see a real estate agent, but there's a lot more people involved than just you guys and the real estate agent in this process. And so kind of walk them through, like, what are they going to be looking at when they come in?
Sure. So there are a lot of moving parts, and then the way we look at it is the Leaders Credit Union Mortgage Champion is going to quarterback this team.
There you go.
And so we'll take the lead with our member or non-member. If you're not a member, we can take care of that. You do not have to be a member to apply.
I'm going to stop you right there real quick. All right, so that's really good. I'm glad you brought that up because I know for years I used to always think that you had to belong to something in order to use the credit union services or at that time Leaders Credit Union services. But what you're saying is you do not have to be. Anybody can use. Is that right?
If you're here in the radio show, then you're eligible.
There you
'Cause
go.
If you live, worship, work, do business, if there's any of that inside this in really West Tennessee, you're going to be eligible for membership.
Okay, awesome. So not to completely take you off track, and we're going to get back on that in just a second, but I just knowing from my own personal experience, I did not know anything about like credit unions and how they operate. So is there a difference between a credit union and a bank if somebody was to go to their bank? I mean,
there
what's the
are a
difference?
few fundamental differences. One I would say is that every member owns one share, and
Okay.
so that's
All
a little
right.
bit different than a bank where there can be private ownership or there can be public ownership where you can own more than one share. The credit union is designed basically as a co-op, and the entire focal point of it is to give products back to its members.
Okay.
And so we're right at the 50,000 member mark at this point.
Yeah. I knew you were big. I knew you were big.
We're big and growing.
Yes.
And we're trying to do it the right way. So fundamentally trying to get products back to the folks that we serve. And so we all own one share. Kelly and I do. And then same as our CEO, Todd Swims. And,
Okay.
And
All right. Yeah, and that's, we talked about being big and don't want that to scare anybody off because they're local big.
Yes.
And that's a key factor right there. I'm all about local, everything I try to do. And even as CWTAR, of course, we cover 9 counties now, so our local could span out across 9 counties, but still trying to retain and use local. So that's really key, important right there. And as I remind people about realtors all the time, remind you about these same two sitting right here next to me is they live here, they go to church here, they shop here, everything they do is here. So it's really important that they want to help grow the community as well as anybody else does.
That is correct, and I think one of the other things that's really important that that we share with individuals out there, the credit union is in a position that when we get discounted interest rates, when we get discounted MI, we get things that normal banks and mortgage companies don't get. And we pass that right on to our membership base. We don't increase rates. We don't increase MI. We don't increase anything to make a profit. We're non-for-profit.
Gotcha.
So we're going to share those discounts onto our membership base.
Okay.
And that's really important for individuals to know that.
Now you used an acronym there, MI.
Oh,
so
yes,
what is
mortgage
that?
insurance.
There you
premium.
go.
Sorry.
Okay, that's
I'm
okay.
Sorry, y'all.
That's okay because
I
remember
live in my world. Don't
that's
I?
right.
I live
Most
in my
of us
little
do.
bubble.
Most of us do. So
mortgage insurance premiums. If you're not putting 20% down, and that's another misknown thing too, that individuals think that they have to have 20% down to be able to purchase a home. You do not. So if you don't have 20% down in a down payment, then you pay monthly mortgage insurance, or MI. And of course, the credit union gets great discounts for that, and we just pass that right on to our membership base.
That's great. Yeah, and that's, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a very a common misdemeanor that people hear all the time about the 20% down, and that's not true. So what is it? If somebody was getting a conventional loan, I mean, what is it? How much do you have to have down, roughly?
Well, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get 3% down on a conventional loan.
Oh, wow.
So
How about that?
if you're a repeat and you're purchasing your second home or your third home, however many homes that you're out there on, you can do as little as 5% down.
Okay.
And then, of course, individuals, a lot of times, when you're moving up and you've bought one property and you're making equity and on the sale of the home, then you're reinvesting it into another. Some are putting 10, 15, 20%. So it's really all of choice, but as little as 3% down for a first-time home buyer on conventional.
Okay. All right. Well, we have gotten way off track from my original question I asked Chris. So no, it's not your fault. I kind of went that direction. So Chris, back to what we were talking about. So let's pick up where we stopped a few minutes ago. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you, but
No, you're good. So folks that would be involved in the transaction typically will go from a home inspector, which is like it sounds. They're going to go out, and this is going to be early in the process, and I'll explain the difference between a home inspector and an appraiser.
okay. All right.
So home inspector is going to go out and crawl into that house and dig all around and tell you everything that's from minor cosmetic to major fundamental flaws that may keep you from wanting to purchase the home, or just suggestions that the seller might need to repair or factor into your offer for that property.
Okay. All right.
You're going to be working with a loan officer, so that's going to be somebody like us that's going to help you obtain your financing. We'll go through all the different offers that you qualify for, because contrary to belief, most folks qualify for more than one loan product, and one loan product typically is going to be the best.
Okay, I'm going to stop you again. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but I know you're bringing stuff up. Remember, we're on radio, and not everybody knows everything about mortgages. So that is a key factor right there, is people hear THDA, and they hear all these other terms, and the conventional, and FHA, and things like that. But that is like literally the tip of the iceberg as far as the type of products that are out there. I mean, there's like hundreds of different things for people that might fit their needs better.
Yes, and that's why you need to really sit down with a loan officer and have that discussion to figure out what's going to be the best scenario for your individual needs, because everyone has different needs and different goals. How long are you going to be there? How long you're not going to be there? We touch everything at Leaders Credit Union, from conventional loans to FHA loans, to VA loans, to THDA loans, and then we have a whole gamut of in-house loan programs and products that if those don't fit your needs, I bet we have something that in-house will fit your needs.
Perfect. All right, great. All right, Chris, go ahead. Sorry.
So home inspector is going to go out and kind of be your expert eyes to go through the property and get you peace of mind on, is there any deferred maintenance, things like that, and help you feel comfortable with the decision to go ahead and to go into contract. And oftentimes you'll be at the offering stage at this point where you go ahead and contract a home inspector.
Okay.
So from there, we'll bring in an appraiser. An appraiser is a third-party opinion. So while we'll put in an order, it's a third party. We, the bank, credit union, will put in an order to pull in an appraised value opinion. It's different from the buyer, it's different from the seller, because everybody's got different opinions of that value, right?
Sure, yes, they do.
And we want to know what the market value is, right? And so an unbiased third-party opinion, and we've got some great appraisers in this town, do a great job. It's very, very timely. They put together some great reports, so you can be confident in that you're paying the right price for the property.
For the property.
Yep.
I'm going to stop you again real quick, and I'm going to turn my head this way towards Jimmy.
Yes.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the only person that can actually attach a value to a property is an appraiser, is that not
Yeah,
correct?
state law says you cannot do an appraisal unless you are either licensed or certified.
That is correct, and that includes real estate agents as well.
Yes.
We can give an estimate
yeah.
of what we think that house might sell for or bring or whatever, but until an appraiser sets foot out there on that property, there's no attached value to it at that point in time, correct?
That's true.
Okay, turn my head back over this way again. All right,
Get
so
you a swivel.
I know, I'm telling you what. Yeah, I usually like to sit where Kelly is over there, but then I feel like I'm so far away from everybody. So, all right, so pick up where you left off. So you got the appraiser out there.
So we got an appraiser, and then inside the loan officer's world, inside the credit union, you're also going to have a mortgage processor. It's going to assist with paperwork.
Okay.
And that's I say that lightly. That's the part that's really quarterbacking and making sure that all our ducks are in the row, so that when we present your loan file over to our in-house underwriter,
Okay.
we get a quick decision. We're trying to make it as easy as possible to get the financing for you guys. And so it's instead of going through and asking for everything that you could possibly need, the processor's going to work with that loan officer and get exactly what we need.
Okay.
Not everything that we're not going to go back 3 years and ask you to just send everything and we'll figure it out.
Figured it out. Okay.
Right.
All right. So you mentioned a underwriter. So a lot of people probably don't know what that is. So what is an underwriter?
So an underwriter is going to evaluate the entire file, and so that will include your income, assets. That will include the appraisal. They'll review that appraisal and make sure that it's safe and sound, and that we've got a fair representation of the value. And then they're going to look at it and say, have we documented enough to be confident that we're putting you in a position to be successful?
Okay.
And so essentially you're taking the documents and the paperwork from that file and making sure that we've got the folks inside the right loan product. And at the end of it, the whole intent is to set somebody up to be successful for home ownership.
Gotcha. Okay. Now you mentioned in-house underwriter. So why is that an advantage?
Because we can go put our eyes on them.
There you go. I love that part of it. Yes, go ahead.
We have conversations. Our underwriters are problem solvers. They're looking at it. They know all our guidelines, so they understand that we keep rattling off these acronyms, but they understand USDA, THDA, VA, our in-house portfolio loans. We have our own guidelines for those, and
Sure.
our underwriters understand those backwards and forward. And so a lot of times we will get opinions back from our underwriter on a path that may be more beneficial to one of our buyers. And so there are a ton of products out there, and our loan officers are very well versed.
Okay.
But our underwriters certainly have an opinion on that and assist us with it. And so it's not somebody that's in a locked door office that's unapproachable. They're very engaged in the process with leaders.
Okay, all right. Well, we're talking with Leaders Mortgage Services, and this is Mr. Chris Gray that we can talk to right here, and we also have Kelly Bryan. But real quick, I'm going to take a quick break for Mr. Jimmy here.
Yeah, just a quick reminder that this is the first in a series. We've been doing real estate in this time slot for probably 8 to 9 months, but we changed it up a little bit so we could get a little bit better perspective on what really goes on in the process. CWTAR, the Central West Tennessee Association of Realtors, and our host, Brent Ward, stepped up to the plate and said, we'll host the show, we'll make it possible, and our sponsors are Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance Company, and Dubuisson and Associates National Property Inspections, with more to be added as we go on down the road. One thing we failed to do, and that is to recognize Paul Schulze, who is in the refrigerator.
I met Paul this morning for the first time.
Yeah, also known as the control area back there. Paul is with the Worthy Road Studio. He takes care. There's the hand.
There's his hand.
That's Paul.
That's
Paul
his
is the hand, and he takes care of all of our Facebook live broadcast, and this is on the CWTAR Facebook page. Just go there and look for Facebook Live, and you can see this presentation all over again, many times as you want to.
That's right.
No
As much
extra
as
charge.
You can come on and see all of us sitting up here at the the studio here, and so yeah, we're excited. This is our first time we've had it on Facebook Live, so y'all are our first ones.
All right.
Y'all,
So how about
y'all
that?
are guinea pigs this morning.
You're our guinea pigs. You're actually my first guest on this show, because
Yeah.
last week I had my office staff on here, so I guess that doesn't really count that I had them on here. But
We'll turn it back to you then.
all right, we're ready to move forward. So so we got to the underwriter, and I stopped you there on the underwriter, and somebody just texted me. So okay, so I got you there on the underwriter, and so let's move forward past that point.
Okay, so at this point we're pulling in a title attorney, right? And so title attorney is going to search to see if there are any delinquent liens or outstanding judgments or anything on that
I would say
property
that's
that you're going to buy.
Pretty
right?
important, right?
Want to make sure in the industry we call it clean title, but we want to make sure that nothing, when you purchase that home, that there's no prior owner that can make claim to that home.
Gotcha.
No delinquent taxes or anything else. And so again, Madison County is, and really all of West Tennessee, very, very fortunate to have some great attorneys.
Yes,
This is
we
what
do.
they specialize in, and so it's not a jack of all trades. Most of the folks that are focused on this is their core business, and they give a ton of guidance.
Okay. All right. Anything past that point?
Homeowners insurance.
I was going to bring that up. I was just
Homeowners
waiting to see.
insurance.
I'm testing Chris over here. No, I'm just kidding. I was actually bringing that up because you mentioned mortgage insurance premium a little while ago, and they talking about homeowners insurance.
Yes, because it's
so
two totally
there you
different
go.
things.
That's what I'm
and
looking
individuals get so confused by that. They think, well, if they're getting mortgage insurance, that's insuring the home. Well, that's not what that is. That's insuring the lender for default purposes. But homeowners insurance, big, huge part of the piece of the pie. Individuals will have the ability to go out and shop for their own homeowners insurance. We can't tell them who they have to insure their home with. That is a choice of their own. So they will need to get homeowners insurance in place about the time they're getting the application done. And after they've gone under contract and done all of those things, their next steps are going to be for them to get some homeowners insurance in place.
Okay. All right. Homeowners insurance. So, all right. So we started. They found a house. they found you guys, or they found a realtor first. So one of the two. But either way you go that direction, you're going to get hooked up with one or the other, right? All right. And so once you get past that point, got the home inspector. We got the appraisal part stuck in there. Now we've got the homeowners insurance stuck in there. Picked an attorney. Okay. So on the attorney part, does the buyer? How does that work a little bit? Because I think that might be a little confusing too to some people as far as the attorney goes.
It can be confusing. It's always going to be the choice of the buyer to choose which attorney they want to use to close on that transaction. Because of the way that our fees roll out for the state of Tennessee, most of the fees are charged to the buyer. So it's going to be a choice of theirs of who they want to use to close on their purchase of their home.
Okay.
Always
and I will say, just from past experience, that's really important. That's a good choice as far as who you pick for your closing attorney, because if something's a little off or a little awry, or you got questions, you need that attorney that you can pick up the phone and call. And that's something that Chris has hit on, that here locally, a lot of places you only use title companies. That's the only thing you use is title companies. But mostly we use attorneys here. And it is a little different than it is even just in Memphis for just as a good example. And having that attorney that you can pick up and ask a question to is really important.
Yes.
So
I know one day we'll probably, years down the road, we'll move to that where Madison County is using title companies, but I hope it's not while I'm still doing mortgages.
It is convenient.
I know it is convenient, but I have a great friendship and business relationships with the attorneys in Madison County, and I think they're all great. You couldn't ask me to pick one that's better than the other. I think they all do a fine job.
Oh yeah, totally. I after all the years of doing this as long as I have, then it's been great. And a lot of places that I talk to it surprises them that we still have closings with attorneys' offices. So, but I just tell them, I was like, yeah, but you have no idea how much easier it is to do it that way. Because guess what? They provide all kinds of other services as well too.
That's right.
That you can pick up while you're there. So, all right. So we got to the closing attorney, and then the process from there. My understanding is when they come in to get ready to do the actual closing, at that point in time, they're going to have one or two documents they'll sign.
They'll have a few. You want to block off about 30 minutes there.
Okay.
But that's an exciting part of it, right? At that point, by the time we show up to closing, everything is done except for loosen up your hand there. You're about to sign for about 30 minutes, but you're leaving there with keys.
That's important right there.
That's right. That's the fun part. At that point, it's you're ready to excel and go pick up the keys, and you're going to be a homeowner. So
yeah, and that's awesome. And that's another good thing about our local market area is there's so many areas that don't. Like when we're done with the closing, our transaction is done. I mean, like when you walk out of that room, it is complete. There's no escrow you're having to wait on.
That's right.
You're not waiting on monies to change hands. You're not waiting on documents to be signed. I mean, it's done.
Because in the Memphis area, you have to wait on keys.
See, there you go, right there.
It's crazy. You have to wait. A whole day practically to get keys for a house that you just bought.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's just crazy. Why would you want to do that? I just bought a however much house, and now then I don't get my keys.
Kind of like telling you to go out and buy a car on a car lot, and then we'll get it to you next week.
Right.
Wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that'd fly very well around here.
Exactly. I just bought a house. I want my keys.
All right.
So you would think the rest of the world would learn from us, wouldn't
That's
you?
right.
I mean, we do it right. We do it the easy way. Get it done. You walk out of there, and then you got to go meet the moving truck.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the key right there, and there's been many a times where the moving truck's just sitting there waiting for them to show up with those keys in their hand because they need to get in that house. That's right. Yeah, I've had people come in out of other realtors that have moved here from out of town, and you've probably talked to mortgage people that have moved here from out of town as well too, and they talk about how easy our process is compared to other locations. Because like I know in New York,
That's right.
well, they got like a 30-day mortgage
Escrow
30-day escrow.
Yes.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that so that's something we don't have to deal with here. So real quick, we don't have but a few minutes left, but so we got through that whole process. Is there anything else you need to add to that? Because that sounded like you got it.
I want
see
to
a
add
finger
one
up.
thing that an individual, as individuals that are applying for a loan, that they need to remember. Once they've started this process, it's crucial that they don't go out and buy furniture, to $25,000 worth of furniture to put in that new home, buy a new car, open up credit cards, quit their job. When you start an application, your application needs to be exactly the same when we close. So you don't need to be opening up credit or closing credit or quitting your job.
You
or
did
any
hit
of
on
those
one
things.
thing right there that
You'd
I
be
meant to ask
surprised
you.
what people do.
Oh, I know. I've had to have that exact same speech with my customers in the past about, okay, now we got a contract that's been accepted. Here's what you're not going to do. Don't do this. Don't even go look. Don't go, because they're going to want to. Even if you don't buy anything, they're going to want to sign you up for a credit account so you can come back after the house closes.
we don't want
And
that.
that's just as damaging.
It's just as damaging.
Because it all of a sudden just changed everything.
It changed
and
the
there's
whole scenario.
And I don't know about you guys, but I know, I don't know if they all do this, but sometimes there's a second credit check that's pulled like days before closing.
There is a second credit check.
There you
that's
go.
Pulled,
That's right.
And your employment is verified.
That's right. Right before
you close.
closing. So
Yes.
the two most important things they
Hello.
want to make sure is still where it's supposed to be. So real quick, you hit on one thing. You said the mortgage process, so from start to finish. How much time frame are we talking about there?
Typically 30 days or less.
30 days or less. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if any of the governmental changes as far as the way they do closings and stuff has had
Hasn't
any
slowed us
effect
down
on
a
that.
bit.
That's good.
Hasn't slowed us down a bit. And I think part of that is because we do have an in-house underwriter.
Okay.
I think it makes all the difference in the world. Our files are not getting shipped off halfway across the country, and we're having to wait on time for it being shipped or what have you. Having an in-house underwriter makes all the difference in the world.
And I will say this is another really crucial part, and I will say is if you call in and deal, I'm going to use Kelly as an example because she's sitting right here. So if you call in and you start working with Kelly, you will still be working with Kelly. Even at the closing table, when you're
Yes.
sitting there, Kelly will be sitting there with you.
Yes.
And that is huge because when you're doing with a lot of the online mortgage companies,
Yeah.
you start off with this person, but then when
It
you're
moves to that
it moves
person,
to the
and then it
next
moves to
person.
the next
That's
person
right.
next.
And that is I can tell you from a real estate agent standpoint, that is a nightmare.
there's
I
just so
appreciated the
much loss.
referral, but I hate having to deal with them, because the person doesn't feel like, they're getting the service they need. And then, you can't explain your situation because you've already explained it to the first person, the second person,
and the
and you're just working
Yeah.
your way down the line. So Kelly's with you from start to the finish. Any of the leaders mortgage people are. So real quick, I know we're getting short on time. So how do they get in touch with you again?
You can text the words "Welcome Home" to 36260, or you can call
664-1784.
All right. And you guys got a website out there?
We do. It's leaderscu.org.
leaderscu.org, and your address one more time.
You can do it in the leaderscu.com or leaderscu.com as well.
Oh, okay.
They both will get you there.
Okay. So .com or .org.
You're never too old to learn.
That's true.
I learn stuff
That's
all the
true.
time. So, and where's your address again?
35 Stonebridge Boulevard.
35 Stonebridge Boulevard. All right, perfect. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you being on the show this morning. I hope
Thank
you
you for
guys had a
having
good
us.
time. I know I did. So,
Thank you.
And I'm sure I'll be seeing you, both you guys around a lot, or at least I plan on it
Hope
anyways.
so anyway.
Hope so
Thank you.
anyways.
Yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Jimmy.
All right.
I think I got something real quick. If you got just a second.
Absolutely.
I got one thing real quick. If I mention the term the band called the Sabres, does that mean anything to you?
You ain't gone to meddling now, boy. Yeah, from about 45 years ago or more.
45
No,
years
more than
ago.
that. 1964.
1964.
Whatever that is.
The Sabres. And my understanding is you used to play the drums.
I did.
Yeah. Do you still play the drums now?
I still have that same set of drums, believe it
Awesome.
or not. Yeah, absolutely. I play it with the church choir
Okay,
every
there
now and
you
then,
go.
that sort of stuff. But yeah, I can still do it. Just give me a couple of days to get my hands warmed up.
Yeah. Get everything working like it's supposed to.
Yeah,
again?
yeah. One of who is that?
Glenn Bryan, known
Yep.
as the Mule.
Yes. Yes.
See?
Yeah, see, you struck
You
another.
never know what's going to happen when you
There
come
was
in.
another guy in that group who is still in the real estate business.
Yes, there is. I didn't mention that person's name,
Yeah.
but I didn't talk to him. I talked to his brother.
Ah, you must
Who's
have
also
talked to, you
still-
must have talked to Bruce.
I did. I
Bruce
talked to
is always
on
getting us
Friday.
in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, he had played rhythm guitar for us.
That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he was like 9 years old. No, he was he was the youngest member of the group. And some people may remember Russ Truell. He was the recorder here in Jackson for quite some time.
Okay.
And Russ played keyboards with us, and we had a good time. We were young and didn't know what we were doing, but we had a good time doing it.
Well, you know what? I'm older and I still don't know what I'm doing, so you know what? It's perfectly okay.
It works.
It works.
All right, we'll do this
All right.
again. In fact, we're going to do this every Monday.
Yeah, let's do this every
We
Monday.
liked it so much we're going to do it every Monday.
Every Monday.
And it's called The Voice for Real Estate. It's presented by CWTAR, the Central West Tennessee Association of Realtors, and sponsored by Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance, Angie Hooten Hughes over on Carriage House Drive, and Dubuisson and Associates, Inc., National Property Inspections. It is 10:47 as the mid-morning mix continues.
If you're in the market